This is John Paul Rye. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan, and recently I've been following these news stories about when TV shows ratings crash, and the main reason, and usually the only reason I see, is because they've gone woke and they've mentioned racial issues. Now, obviously, there are racial issues in the world, but what I keep saying is it's best to keep that off your platform if it's entertainment, because people want to hear about the entertainment. Same thing with like Hollywood movies, Star Wars, Marvel, things like that. The big downfall was we don't want identity politics heavily. Sure, here and there, it could be part of it. It's a part of life. But when it's a main message and you're changing things around to pander to certain audiences, virtue signal, things like that, it's not going to work. There's going to be a money loss. There's going to be a ratings loss. And, well, you guys have heard, go woke, go broke, and it appears to be true. So, this is called The Talk Ratings Plunged to Lowest Daytime Program Following Sharon Osbourne's Exit. Now, she left because she got in a debate about the racial issues on air. She said she's tired of being called racist, which is obviously totally fair because not everyone is, and I think most people aren't. Let's take a look. And for what it's worth, here's the people on the show. The Talk suffered a significant dip in ratings among daytime programs following Sharon Osbourne's exit from the show. And she's like, I think the most recognizable person. I mean, not everybody knows her. She's Ozzy Osbourne's wife. She was on The X Factor with Simon Cowell. I honestly don't know who these other ladies are. Maybe, I'm sure some of you do. They're probably from some TV show or some other show or whatnot, but I think Sharon Osbourne is definitely the most recognizable out of the bunch. The CBS talk show returned to its regular programming schedule on April 12th following a nearly month-long hiatus after an on-air spat between Osbourne and co-host Cheryl Underwood resulted in the former reality star leaving the show for good. The Soap Opera Network reports that the ratings for The Talk during the week of April 12th to 16th dropped to the number 13th spot, the last place on the list in both the women 18 to 49 demographic and the women 25 to 54 demographic, which is pretty much their entire target audience and their entire fan base. Who they're going for are the people who dropped off. I mean, I know, let's face it, someone's going to come around and call me a sexist or misogynist or whatever, but honestly, guys do not watch this show normally, regularly. This looks like it's a show for girls and women, and if you're losing girls and women, well, it looks like you're pretty much losing. Shake Up the Talk first took place back on March 10th when Osbourne was locked in a heated discussion about race, spurred by her previous support, Piers Morgan, after he left Good Morning Britain over differing opinions about Meghan Markle following the Duchess of Sussex and Prince Harry's bombshell interview with Oprah Winfrey, if you could call it that. I don't know, kind of seemed like friends talking amongst each other to me, but if you want to call it bombshell, fine. Or if you want to call accusations about the royal family being racist a bombshell, okay. So, the thing is, Piers Morgan left Good Morning Britain because, you know, he got heat about Meghan Markle, and she brought up racial issues on Oprah. So it's all these racial issues and these racial arguments and debates. I'm not getting into context here. I'm simply saying because they're being had on these huge platforms, people are turned off by it. No one wants to be reading their book or, you know, going through their day, and you want to hear some good news, you want to hear something lighthearted, and there's these intense racial discussions. Sometimes they're meant to be there, but on Good Morning Britain and The Talk, these look like, you know, kind of lighthearted talk shows to watch and just, you know, have fun with. So anyway, you guys of course let me know what you think down below. Do you think racial issues should take the forefront? Do you think everyone should just like cool down with it? Obviously, as you know on my channel here, I get into the fact that people talk about racial issues and the consequences of that, but I don't actually directly talk about it here because there's no reason to. It can't actually do anything positive. I mentioned the George Floyd case in another video, and I've avoided it because it can't really bring anything positive to the channel or, lighten up spirits. It's just going to basically cause controversy and disagreement at some point, which is what should have happened here on the talk. They should have not had racial issues come into the conversation. Sharon Osbourne, like I said, was saying she was being sick of called a racist, so I'm going to assume at some point she was defending herself. I haven't seen the full show, unfortunately, but the main point here is the ratings bombed and they plummeted, so that's something to keep in mind. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. Doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. That first heard, little Meghan Markle once in a while. If you don't subscribe, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.